my job is to empower women, to show them what is possible at this time, to equip them with the tools and resources they need to thrive.
Hi, this is Nadia Kendall, and this is the Power Her podcast series, You Have What It Takes. And this is my guest, Victoria Honey.
Hi.
Hi. How are you? Good. So, I would like to talk to you a little bit about who you are and how you describe yourself.
I would say that I am a trailblazer, to be honest, because a lot of people don't talk about my topic, women health, women wellness. It's just a topic that a lot of people don't invest in. When we talk about women wellness, a lot of people will talk about fitness, they will talk about diet, but I am specializing in a topic that needs a space in this day and age.
Could you talk to us a little bit more about what your specialty is? So for those who don't know, Victoria Honey is Luxembourg's #1 sexologist and perimenopause expert. So could you tell us and our viewers what exactly that means and how you got into it?
It means perimenopause is one of the stages of life that a woman have to go through. We talk about menstruation, we talk about puberty, and we talk about pregnancy, and then we always forget about perimenopause. And it's one of the stages that needs a lot of attention. This is the time when a woman starts to see a drop in certain hormones in their body that impact the way they perform in life, the way they show up, the way they feel in their bodies, the way they feel about their careers, about their dream. This is the moment of that, that's the period of their life. So I feel like this is a stage, this is a time that needs a lot of work. This is a time where a lot of people need to have a conversation about what happened during this time. So my work is to educate, to bring more awareness to this, to invite women to start to be aware of the changes that are in their body, start to have a lot more compassion with themselves, start to take care of their health, their mental well-being, start to have a voice in their lives, start to follow their dreams. This is not the time to feel like, oh, I can't follow my dreams because I'm tired or I'm too old or things like that. This is the time for them to step up. This is the time for them to show what is possible to their kids, to those that are older, older than them as well. So this is a conversation that I felt that needed to be done. So my job is to empower women, to show them what is possible at this time, to equip them with the tools and resources they need to thrive, to help them to feel more confident about what they want to do, to empower them with the tools, to help them to have the conversations with their kids, to have it with their lovers, with their husband, also to have an empowered conversation with their boss. And also my job, which I also love, is to invite corporate to have that conversations as well, so that managers can treat women with so much respect. So that this is not a topic that people don't talk about, that of course it impacts the way we do life or it impacts the way we perform at work. But can you give us the tool and resources to help us thrive in our career? Because this is not the time for us, again, as I'm saying, to drop off the leadership role and start to stay in the middle class role. So that is my job, is to bring more awareness to that in a very empowering way.
Wow. You do a lot. I was like, okay, she's going to say one sentence, but that you do a lot. And it sounds to me like a lot of it involves empowerment, advocacy, even about a topic that you are convinced really matters to women and the general society. I'm interested about the corporate work. What do you do in the corporate space and what does it take exactly?
What I do in the corporate place itself is I do a lot of trainings with managers. I do a lot of trainings with HR. And then sometimes they hire me for about 3 months where I implement a menopausal policy strategy. Because I feel like it's not only about wearing a badge that we are going through menopause or we're going through perimenopause. I'm going through perimenopause myself. It's not about wearing the badge. It's about really implementing strategies for women to be able to thrive in the corporate. One example is, some of us, we have hot flashes at work and we feel a little bit embarrassed about it. So can we have fan for the women at work so that they can start to cool down themselves? Can we have a place where the women can change, or, because some women can be really overpowered by their sweat, especially women in leadership role. Can they be able to have a little place in their drawer where they can put exchange clothes, change clothes that they can have there? And sometimes the managers can be making a big fuss over a woman that is stammering, or maybe she forgot her words or things like that. So my job is to educate them. So I do workshop with managers to let them know this type of symptoms that women can have. And I also want them to make it safer for women to be able to have those conversations with them. Because I notice when we're going through perimenopause, our performance, our productivity can be lowered.
Mm.
Sometimes we phone in sick, or we feel resistant to show up for meetings, or we feel like we don't want to take on a lot of responsibilities, and we don't know how to voice that. And then we have our appraisal at the end of the year, and then our bosses start to say, you have underperformed for the past 6 months. Because of that, you probably have to be demoted, or maybe you have to have less pay, or
Mm.
that kind of thing. So I feel like my work is to empower the women to be able to face their bosses, as well as the managers to be able to have a compassionate or empathetic conversation with their staffs as well, so that they can still feel that they can still be in the company, they can thrive in the company, they can share their ideas, they can still be who they are, they can have all their symptoms that don't feel like they're odd. Because when we're growing up, I don't know about this new generations, but when we started to feel our period, we had a lot of shame around it. And
Yep.
this is what it's like with perimenopause too. It's another stage that we can't avoid, and we women are having shame around it too. So my job is to bring that conversation to the table, and also I'm there also to implement the strategy. As I said, how can they educate the staff? What can they put on their, the staff homepage? Can the staff find a safe resource? I mean, can they find a place on the website where they can get resources, where they can get support? Also, maybe there could be health and wellness practices, in the workplace that women can do, during those periods as well, like yoga
Wow.
that are for women that go into menopause, because a lot of companies have, fitness and wellness in their companies, but do we have something that is catered for women like us that are going through those things there as well? Maybe if there's a menopause policy that they can implement in the health and wellness policy within the company, can they have it to be inclusive of women going through it too? So that when we want to take some time off, we're not going to be judged on it. Maybe they don't want to pay, that's fine, but also can we actually be paid for that? And nowadays we can work from home, but some companies are allowed to do that. That's also that. And also when we talk about menopause policy, it could be maybe on menopause day. We have a menopause day within the company that this is a day for us, and then we are waving our flags. So that's really much a lot of the things I do, as you said.
I loved the champion thing. Like, love it. Okay, I'm nerding out a little bit.
Yeah.
We have a lot more in common than I expected, actually, because you champion women and you go to workplaces and you show them that there's a possibility to stand up for yourself and say, these are the accommodations that I need. These are my rights. This is what I'm experiencing. But that requires two ways, right? It means that the people in the workplace have to have a basic level of understanding and awareness, but then the individual themselves have to have the self-advocacy skills
Exactly.
to do so.
Exactly.
Let's go back to having what it takes.
Yeah.
Have you ever been in a situation throughout your journey to becoming an expert in your field that you felt, look, I don't think I have what it takes? Or did someone tell you, you don't have what it takes?
I've had a lot of experiences. I've had a lot of challenges around that topic. I would say when it comes to this specific topic, people feel like I don't have what it takes to hold the energy on, being a spokesman for perimenopause, because
Mm.
there's not a lot of people talking about it, and there's a lot of taboo around it. Some people can challenge me and say that, I'm not going through it, I'm not old enough, I'm not a doctor, or that kind of thing. So I
Yeah.
would say that that is one of the biggest one for me, that I don't have what it takes, that people have put on me, but I've just taken baby steps. I mean, I have what it takes. I don't know the extent of the challenges that I might face, but I'm giving myself the grace to be able to fail and to show up and just take the baby steps I could take, and hiring the right support, speaking to the right people to support me, to be able to show up frequently. So that is one of the biggest things that people have challenged me with. Like, you need to, focus on what you're good at, because I am really good at IT. I studied computer engineering, and when we talk about women health and that, it's totally different when we talk about being a sexologist. People think, wow, it's just such a different field, that how are you going to be able to make it as well? I don't speak French as well, which is can be a quite challenge, or German or Luxembourgish, which can be quite a challenge here in Luxembourg.
Mm.
But I am just believing that I have what it takes to create an impact here in Luxembourg, even with English as well, and feeling that we have Google Translation and all of that too. But the fact that I just believe is a big thing. But as I said earlier, it's just about feeling vulnerable to ask for the help, even if you feel like you're a bit down at the moment. Ask for the help that you really need to ask. Seek out the right support. Educate yourself as well. When you need to rest, make sure you go and rest. Make sure when you're on fire as well. Just noticing the rhythm of your body, following the rhythm of your body. That also allows you to feel that you have got what you take as well.
I'm inspired by you. I'm really inspired. And I want to know, did you have anyone in your life that you looked up to that brought you to this point or guided you to this path? Or did you just find it within yourself? Where did it come from?
I would say that it's definitely my kids for sure. They're the ones that actually inspired me. I have two beautiful humans in my life, and I want to be an example of what could be possible. Something that is also very close to them. I mean, we can find so many celebrities online that I adore, but I am the closest human being that is in their life that feels so true. That is not a celebrity that can fall down the stairs, make mistakes, drool when she sleeps. That closeness for me is something. And I'm in my 40s. I think they're Gen Z or something, or even she's 16 and 15. So they're very young. And I love how they're coping with the trends of this generation, how they are advocating for themselves. A lot of them are, stronger. They are finding their own identity within this world. And we that are grown up, sometimes we find it really, really difficult to be able to adjust, to be able to accept the changes that are happening in the world. So just seeing them figure out their own path and just allow them to just be themselves. And I love to see that they are able to advocate for other people at school, to do, to be themselves and things like that. So they are the ones that really, really are the role model of me, because I never had a bigger role model in my life. Maybe my mom has been, she gone through a lot of conditioning, and they were like, women were not supposed to be, powerful women or somebody have a voice. So they were not my true role model, but my girls are so strong. Even with me, they are stronger. They love to talk about their dreams. They love to show up for diversity or inclusivity. It's just amazing what they've created, and they are my biggest role model. Yeah, for sure.
Well, I need to meet your daughters. But we have so many young girls watching this and part of our program that can be really inspired by you and what you're speaking of. I'd really like to know what you'd say to your girls specifically, or to our girls. What can they learn from you?
I would say that what they can learn from me is to really be present to what is it that they want in life, and also to be connected to their bodies. I feel like there's a lot of things that we don't see about people. The fear. Sometimes we assume that some people are stronger because they have, the makeup on, everything is all looking good. But I want to advise girls, or my girls, or any young girl, is to stay connected to their body, because the fear is already here. You can see it pumping at the body level. Even the boundaries, the yeses or nos, the fears or something, you can see it, the happiness, you feel it at the body level. And I feel like when we navigate from that space, instead of us navigating from what society tells us to do, or from what we've read in books, or what is in our, thoughts pattern or thing, it's very good to just be present with what I'm feeling here. Because when we feel this, and we can ground those energy at the body level, we can make a powerful decision in our life. We can make a conscious decision in our life. We know when to say yeses. We won't feel bad about the decision we're making. And then we're going to be able to follow our dreams and desires and things like that. So just stay connected to the body. What does it mean? What are the subtle sensations that you're feeling? Are you feeling clamped up? Are you feeling, tickly feeling? Are you feeling warmth? Are you feeling bubbly feeling? That is the first stage, because when you feel that, you can either nurture it. You can either calm it down. Either you can redirect it in a specific way. Maybe you need to affirm it with your thoughts. Maybe you need to smile to yourself. Maybe you need to, ground yourself with your breath. There's a lot of things that you can do with the body than it being like, okay, what did my mom say? What did my sister say? What did my friend say? Because everybody, they're all sharing their own experiences from their own journey. And not all things that you hear is quite, it's good for you, and you have to be true to yourself. And fine, people can share their thoughts. I like it, but you should be able to consciously be able to shuffle through those shares that you're getting from other people and choose what you want. And you can only do that by being true to yourself, because when you feel that you're true to yourself, then you won't feel any guilt. Even if things fall apart, you'll be like, I gave it my best shot. It fell apart, but I am here again to rise. And you can
Amen.
only rise when you can trust your body, and you can trust your own sensations, and you can guide it and you can ground it. I like to call that embodied trust. And you can only thrive in life when you have a true embodied trust, like a trust of yourself. And that is also called, I have got my back. We have got other people that can have our back, but do you truly have your back? So can you learn to have this habit of having your back? Even if you fail, can you give yourself a hug and say, you know what, I fuck it up. Oh, sorry. I messed it up. I messed it up, but I've got my back because I will show up. But a lot of people, they beat themselves up. A lot of young
Yeah.
girls,
Yeah. Yeah.
they beat themselves up for their own decisions. Oh, I should have followed what my friend said. I should have done it. I should have done that. And then they beat themselves up. And I think when you go inward, actually you take responsibilities for your own decision, even if it's positive or not. You take responsibility. And when you take responsibility, you blossom. You blossom. So staying connected to your body, staying connected with your own true sensation, learning how to ground it even in the face of all the chaos. Nobody knows that you're doing it, but you are doing it. You're either squeezing your legs, you even breathing deep into your belly, or you're massaging. There's a lot of ways that we ground it, and you need to figure out your own tools to be able to ground it. Because to thrive is about overcoming our fears. If not, you're going to always stay complacent. So thrive is about breaking through. So we're always going to be fearful. Things are going to be challenging, but instead of us dropping off the radar, we need to be able to work with those emotions. And when we work through that emotion, we would champion our brilliance.
I really like what you said about that. And I'm curious because you're, of course, an expert for women 40 plus, if I'm
Yes.
not mistaken. Do you have any resources for young girls and where they can learn this embodied trust? Because I'm absolutely fascinated by this concept you brought up.
I don't necessarily have resources for young girls around this. It's also something that I teach my humans, because I noticed that that's where we start to drop off on the radar of our profession, because we're feeling fearful, we can't handle, we're not speaking out because we are a little bit all over the place, we're overwhelmed with all the sensations we're feeling in our bodies, and then we can't advocate for ourselves, we're not speaking up. So I don't really have resources for that, but I would love to, have a nice checklist or a nice like little booklet for young girls that they can have, so that they can come to my website on Victoria Honey as well, and then just enter their email address and they can have it as well. Because those are the tools that I teach my humans as well, of how they can manage that a little bit more. So yes, they can check.
So, tell me the good, bad, and the ugly, because I really, I want to know. What's the most difficult part about your job? Because I'm sure, although it's so uplifting to help women and empower them, there must be something that can be difficult as part of this profession.
Definitely. There's a lot of things that are quite difficult because, perimenopause or menopause, a lot of women go through it at different stages of their life. Sometimes we always believe that you have to be in your 50s to actually go through it. But recently I just met a beautiful human. Last night we were having dinner, and she was 39, and she actually told me that she went through menopause, which is really, really early. And right now she's in postmenopause. So that is the hardest part, because she's quite young. She wanted to have kids, and she can't have it. And also, I just saw her energy. It's almost like it's all over. The fact that she felt like that was the hardest, because some women would not actually seek out the right support, and they would go through that for over a decade. You know, just feeling depressed, just feeling that they haven't got what it takes, which was the last question you asked, to be able to follow their dreams, to be able to ask for that pay rise, to be able to, ask for that promotion, to be able to travel with their kids and, do all this beautiful, fun things, or they feel like maybe they're behind or they're not engaging with their kids. Lots and lots of things. So the hardest part is women not, stepping up early enough right now, taking charge and having that conversation. That is the hardest part. And also, some women have a lot of shame around having it with their daughters. They feel like, oh my God, I don't want it to, whatever, know about this, or
Okay.
they project their thoughts onto their kids as well. And I feel like our beautiful girls, they need to understand that this is an inevitable stage of life that they're going to go through. So, because sometimes if women are going through this, sometimes we are a little bit emotional, or sometimes we have a lot of mood swings, we are not very patient enough, or we have a lot of, dysfunctions of the body and things like that, and we're not telling them about it. And then we have teenagers, and they think, their mom is crazy or things like that. My kids always think that I'm bipolar. They always say, oh,
Oh,
mom, one minute you're damn happy, and the next minute you're like a crazy woman. So I had to invite them that, oh my God, I didn't know. It's because they were telling me consistently
oh, right.
that I'm acting like this off. That's actually knew that was one of my symptoms that was coming up,
Okay.
because I never see that part of me. So I started to have these conversations with them that I think I'm going through perimenopause right now, and I might have these emotions, I might have these triggers and things like that. And one of the strategies that I implemented is when they want to ask me questions, it's always good for them to ask me, Mom, is this the right time? So they always ask
Love
me, Mom, is
that.
this the right time? Because they ask me when I'm like busy doing something. I like, "No," and I just shout at them, and they feel like, oh my God, this is a bit, he's only asked just one little question. Look at you, like getting angry or what. So I always like them to ask me that question. So that also segment me to just relax, calm down, figure out my thoughts, and then give them the right answer. Because sometimes I really want to say yes, but at that moment I'd be so overwhelmed with stress, with work, with all the other stuff, the bills and all that kind of thing, that I'm not giving them the right answer. So it's a shame that a lot of us, we Botox up, we suit up and things like that, but we're not letting our beautiful girls know that we are going through something right now, and I wish I can get the right support. I wish I can be more gentle. I wish you can tidy up after yourself. Can you help out with the kitchen? Maybe I might forget something. My kids always do. They like to remind me of things when I'm about to pay bills. As I sometimes, bills can make us stressful, and I'm
Yep.
like trying to pay off, and by the time I know it, I've blocked my pin because I'm so stressed. They're like there in my right
Mm,
there, and I'm like, so when I'm about to pay, they give me space, so they know, let's give me mom space so that she can pay this bill, and then I do that. So I have a lot of habits, so they know that happens. That happens a lot, and that even makes it a lot easier for me now that I've started a career in perimenopause. They are quite excited that mom is known for this particular thing, and advocate for it, and they don't have any shame around it. So even when at school, their moms are talking, their friends are talking about craziness of their mom, she's like, oh, maybe they might be going through perimenopause. Go
oh, that's
check
so
my mom
sweet.
out and things like that. So that is one of the hardest part, is women are hiding that. We
Mm,
are hiding our vulnerability with our kids. We're not letting them know. And then when they get to that stage of their life, they don't even know how to handle it too. They're either hiding as well, they're not speaking up, and they're not doing that. But we need to let them know that it is difficult. We have our ups and downs, but we are still champion on our brilliance. We're going to go after our brilliance. We're going to take care of our health. We're going to take care of our knee. We're going to organize our surroundings so that it's supportive of us. So that is the biggest challenge for me as well. Yeah.
you just reminded me of something that I consistently advocate for, which is nothing about us without us, is that you are struggling with perimenopause yourself, and you're advocating for other women, and who better to do so than someone who's experiencing it
Exactly.
themselves. And I applaud you for, even with those difficulties and the symptoms and the mood swings and whatever you're experiencing, you still find it within yourself to empower other women, and I love that. What's the best part of the job?
The best part is just seeing women just blossom, seeing us all just blossom. One thing I love is when we are out and about, one thing I always say, we don't talk about our kids. You guys don't come here and talk about mom stuff. We talk about us and what we want to do. And when I see them just let go of that part and just go back into their bodies, go back into their mind, what is it that I desire? What is it that I want to make a stand for? What is it that I dream about? That really, really lights me up because a lot of women, they don't even know how to have that conversation. They either talk about work, they talk about their kids, the challenges they have, their finance stuff, which is so important. But I'm like inviting them to dig deeper and share something bigger. And when they step in, some of them will obviously have fear, that is, they don't have what it takes, that allows us to even have a bigger conversation. Or some of them just feel like, wow, oh my God, I think I have time. I'm going to do this right now. I'm going to lose that weight. I'm going to, look for that boyfriend. I'm going to buy that house. I'm going to change that job. The fact that people are just dreaming big is even inspiring me myself because I have big dreams and I want to have more women that are dreaming big. Not all of us complaining all the time. I want to have more women like that because when we see each other do it, we're going to have more women that are championing each other. We're having more women are in leadership role. We have more women that are starting their own businesses, taking up space in the world. So that's really, really the biggest thing because menopause impacts us. It does impact us.
Yeah.
One of my biggest symptoms, apart from mood swing, is memory fog, or sometimes I forget my words, even though I'm kind of managing this interview quite well in my head.
You're doing amazing.
I always miss my word. I'm looking for stuff. I go a little bit up and down. I'm aware of it now, so I try to catch myself quite quickly. So we have our challenges, and that's why most of us don't even show up in life. But just seeing them just have that light just show up for them, just seeing them in their fire just inspires me. It makes me feel like, oh my God, wow, there's another being here that has dreams. Can I put her on my WhatsApp list? Can I have chats with her too? Can we support each other? Can we dream big together? And that is the biggest joy ever.
Victoria, thank you for being with us today. Honestly, you're doing soul work. I think it's soul work that you're doing. And I'm really happy that the girls get to see what you do and that we got to share your message. That's a wrap. If you have any questions for Victoria Honey, find her on LinkedIn, Google, Instagram maybe, probably almost everywhere. Ask her whatever questions you have, and if you want to talk to us, follow us on Instagram and Spotify. All right, see you in the next episode. Bye.